For the first time in a decade, the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship comes to the sunny Hawke'S Bay. Napier is the Art Deco capital of the world. After a devastating earthquake hit in 1931 and flattened the city, the classic Art Deco design buildings filled the city streets and have survived to become iconic. But it's the roads north of Napier that have the drivers excited.
Obviously, we're all looking forward to coming back here because, from what we remember and from what we've seen today, the roads are fantastic.
We've still got to collect 5 points, so that's obviously the focus. And if we can try and do that in the power stage, it'll be great. But obviously, try and bring it home. A nice, clean rally will be the goal, and the championship will be our number one priority.
Ari, first time in a four-wheel drive car at National Championship events. How excited are you, first of all?
It's pretty awesome to be able to have a crack in a car like this for my first four-wheel drive rally. So really looking forward to the weekend.
Robbie, first time in Napier, mate. Beautiful part of the country. What have you sort of made of it so far?
It's unlike anything else in the country. I think they're just incredible roads, but I think if we want to go fast, we're going to have to be very accurate. There's a lot of places that will catch you if you're not on your game. 6 stages north of Napier and near to Wairoa, a total of 158 stage kilometres. Stage 1 Waitara has a very fast start and a tricky last few kilometres. Cricklewood, a famous stage starting in Forest and opening at the end, will be used twice. Special Stage 3, Waihi, has the thickest gravel. Mohaka Coach is an old road, spectacular above the Mohaka River. And finally, Waipunga, which will see the cars climb a steep, narrow road above spectacular drops to the valley below. It's early Saturday as the crews gather at Mitre 10 Mega in Napier. Hayden Paddon can wrap up the New Zealand Drivers' title with a win here, and he will lead the cars away. Overcast, cloud and rain the week before means the roads here are soft. Paddon making the most of road position.
And this last shower of overnight rain is exactly what his rivals did not want to see. Any hope of road sweeping effect is now entirely gone, and the road will get slipperier as the cars go through.
Stage time, 17 minutes 53, smashing the stage record. Hayden, looks like the road's a little bit slippery this morning. How'd you find it?
Yeah, it's consistent. We've obviously got the best place on the road right now. I think that will change as the day goes on, but that's not too bad. It's a bit slippery in places, but tricky little stage, and you can definitely tell you've written fresh pace notes, so they're a bit raw, so nothing we can do about that, but obviously, it's just the way it is.
There's no doubt that Ben Hunt is up against it, driving the Subaru, which is longer than the AP4 and R5 cars on twisty stages.
And while the big long wheelbase works great on the South Island roads, which are wide and fast, these tight and twisty roads take a lot of manoeuvring to get the car to rotate. Just look at how hard Ben is working to produce the speed out of this car.
The old stage record was 19 minutes 29.8. Hunt's stage time well under that time, 19:10, but he trails Paddon by a whopping minute 16.
It's pretty twisty in there, but that felt awesome in the car, and we're on a different playing field there.
Rana Horan, the first driver in the running to have no experience on these roads. He's only been competing for 4 seasons.
Oh, and he's overcooked that one. He's in the bank. Oh, and he's lucky to get away with it. That car was right up on 2 wheels.
A dent in his confidence maybe, but still 5.9 seconds quicker than Hunt.
Rana, telltale sign that you might have had a little moment in there.
Yeah, hit a bank. Right where the cameras are, actually. Funny that.
Car's okay?
I don't know. We'll have a look. Seems to go all right after. Just lost my rhythm after that, so come on.
Robbie and Amy Stokes would be hoping for a good run here after retiring on Special Stage 1 at South Canterbury.
And they've gone right through this car. They know what they have to do to win rallies at a national championship level. Father Brian's done it plenty of times.
His stage time, second fastest, but wow, nearly a minute off Hayden Paddon's time. Matt Summerfield, 5th fastest, and leading a group of 5 drivers, separated by just a few seconds.
He's just off the back of that front group, and although it's not a big gap, I know it's incredibly frustrating for Matt and Nicole.
Todd Borden just has to finish the rally to take out the Cat 1A prize for the older cars. He was just 1.9 seconds behind Summerfield in his Evo 6.
And it's worth remembering, this is the car that won this rally in 2004, and not a lot has changed with it.
Regan Ross, another 1.7 seconds behind in the Fiesta R5. Mike Young in the Subaru on yet another new rally for him. His driving has mainly been in Asia and Australia. He was 6.4 seconds back and only just catching the car near the end of the stage.
And for Mike, these roads are totally different again to what he experienced in Timaru, which is totally different to what he's used to rallying on. Oh, and he's well wide there. Look at that spray at our cameraman. That's a brave place to stand.
And he wasn't the only driver to get loose on that corner. Grant Blackberry having a welcome return to Cat 1 and also an organiser of this rally.
It seems that these production cars are really hard to get turned on the tight, twisty roads around the Hawke'S Bay.
5 left plus. Oh, mate, what happened in the last half K? You had me going for the brake pedal a few times in there, bro.
Kingsley Jones in the R5 Skoda 9th. Ari Pettigrew had taken over the reins of Brian Green's Mirage AP4 for this rally, having secured the Open two-wheel drive title in his trusty BMW.
And the Team Rally Art guys have trusted Ari with this as a reward for his Open two-wheel drive title. It's a one-off, and for him, finishing is key.
Ari, pretty competitive time first up, mate. Must be happy.
Yeah, not too bad. It was real tricky in the area. Definitely a pretty tricky stage to try and learn a car on, but no, I really enjoyed it, so it was good fun.
And, mate, adjusting left-hand drive and four-wheel drive car easy enough?
Yeah, still got a front bumper on it, I think, so yeah, not too bad in there. So yeah, looking forward to a bit of improvement over the afternoon today, so yeah, lots more to come.
Matt Jensen in the 11th and leading Phil Campbell in the other Fiesta AP4.
And Phil's been dogged by a misfire right from the start. Very frustrating after the Timaru speed he showed.
A brand new car for Jack Hawkeswood after his huge accident at Whangarei. 13th on the stage after a few brake issues.
And for Jack, him and his whole team have spent a heap of time building this new car. It's understandable that he's easing his way back into it, having only driven it for the first time to the ceremonial start.
Jack, mate, it's great to see you here at the end of stage 1 after all the work that you guys have had to put in over the last month or so.
Yeah, you know, it's a bit of a relief really to get through that first one, but I'm definitely rusty. Yeah.
Hayden McKenzie stopped briefly in the stage as he struggled to keep the big Evo 10 on the road in these tight, twisty sections.
And it just shows you the advantage of the AP4 and R5 cars. The Evo 10 was a state-of-the-art Group N car, and we can't wait to see what Hayden can do with his Toyota AP4 car at Coromandel.
Duncan McCrosty in the third Mazda AP4. This the one which Andrew Hawkeswood used to win the title in 2017.
And Duncan's absolutely been a pillar of consistency across the year. He's one of only 3 drivers in the top category that's finished every rally.
James Dunlop, normally behind the camera on rallies in New Zealand, but this Subaru has been in the shed for too long and it was time for James to hand over the camera and take to the steering wheel.
And for James, it's a great way to learn. There's no pressure because a finish will result in a spot on the podium.
James, obviously good to see you here in the championship, mate. How did you find the first stage?
It was pretty scary at the start, pretty fast. Midway through the stage, something went wrong with the brake, so lost a bit of brake pedal, but managed it, and now it's heaps of fun. We had a great time out there.
There are some stages in New Zealand which have huge reputations, the Motu, Whanga Coast to name a couple, and then there is Cricklewood, surely the star of this rally. It was run at stage 2 and at stage 4. Hayden continued his domination, 50 seconds under his own stage record from 2008.
Of course, those were set in Group N cars, and it's a great highlight of how far these cars have come forward.
Robbie Stokes also under that old record, but 46 seconds slower than Padden, however. He was 18 seconds faster than Ben Hunt and 20 seconds clear of Rana Horan, so he was establishing a clear gap in second. Hunt third fastest and managing to take some time off Horan to close the gap to third.
And this is a graphic illustration of how hard Ben has to drive the car. Look at the wheel inputs that he's constantly having to put in just to get that car to move on these tight and twisty roads.
Horan holding on to third by just 1.8 seconds.
And thankfully it seems that damage is purely cosmetic from that stage 1 off.
Regan Ross went off at the start of the stage, and unfortunately his turbo cooked while they tried to get it onto the road.
There's a little slight panic moment. There's some wee bit of smoke that sort of turned to a little bit of orange smoke under the bonnet, so we put that out, and yeah, no happy days. So yeah.
Matt Summerfield holding fifth ahead of Todd Borden. It's a fitting swan song for Borden's Evo 6, with the new R5 Fiesta arriving soon. This is the same car in which he last competed on these stage over 10 years ago. A push in the stage, putting Blackberry into 6th ahead of Mike Young. Just 1.2 seconds between these two drivers.
Check it out, Grunter, too. Letting it all hang out. So Patton leads the way over Stokes. Horan and Hunt in a huge battle for third, and Summerfield leading the tight battle for fifth.
A service in the main street in Wairoa. Hayden Padden comfortable with the morning effort.
To be honest, it's been a bit tougher this morning than what we expected. Like the new pace notes and one past recce, you definitely feel the difference, and you just can't really push on like you'd want to normally. So you got to dial it back a little bit. But yeah, a little bit greasy, a little bit tricky, a lot of rain overnight. But yeah, enjoying it. That's the main thing.
Meanwhile, some hard work ahead for Ben Hunt to keep his big car on the podium.
We felt really good in the car, and yeah, Tony and I gelled well and probably attacking 120%, but obviously some of those young guns are going a bit better than we are, so yeah, no, we're pushing on quite happily, and yeah, obviously I'm time to make back to Stokes, but Rana and I are having a good battle.
Repair work on the Skoda as Rana Horan reflects on the morning.
Was it stage 1, into stage 1, and hit the bank, and that pushed the front in and nearly tipped the car over, so after that I was a bit rough, but the time was alright. It was the stage after that I wasn't so good at. The problem out there is it's real slippery, it's muddy as hell, so it looks grippy until you try and brake, and then it's not as good as you think, so then you try and do other things to make it work, you know.
At Rally Art, Brian Green relaxed about his young driver.
Ari's an up-and-coming driver from the South Island, and the decision was made by the team that we'd give him an opportunity to do the event in the car. So it's his first time in a four-wheel drive car, it's his first time in a left-hand drive car, and at the moment he's sitting in about 8th or 9th overall, which is pretty good going.
Yeah, the first stage was one of the trickiest stages I've ever done. It was, yeah, just the conditions were chopping and changing the whole time, but the second stage was a lot better. It was a lot more consistent, so I was able to trust the car a bit more and, yeah, slowly getting more used to how it reacts to what I tell it to do. So, yeah, really enjoying the morning so far.
Brakes are an issue, but that's all for Jack Hawkeswood.
Definitely a bit of a rocky start. Just a lack of confidence on these roads down here. It's nothing I've ever driven on before, and sort of the slippery conditions aren't really helping. But yeah, no, we're just slowly building back up. There's just a few teething problems between Sarah and I and the car, and just all the little things, but we're slowly working through them all.
Oh, it's a huge job. There's about 1,000 odd hours, and reshelling that car, and coming up with those, pulling those sort of numbers over that period was a huge effort for those guys. And Tony McConaughey and Kane Homburg and that, they just worked tirelessly. Norm Sue just didn't stop,
Padden continued to lead from the front, although he'd been concerned that thick gravel on the stage may have slowed the top 5 cars. Robbie Stokes really cementing his second place here, building the gap to third to over a minute.
And Robbie's shown this pace ever since Whangarei, but we've been waiting for a consistent run to really get a gauge on it.
Short 7 left, narrows 110.
And just look at how smooth those inputs are on the steering wheel. You'll note even in the tight corners, he's not using more than 90 degrees of lock. Now compare that to Ben Hunt in the big Subaru, who's really got to work hard to get the car turned and then keep on top of it.
2 right, opens flat 6.
Hunt took advantage of the road conditions to take third position from Rana Horan. but it was close, with Horan just 3.4 seconds slower through the stage.
And you can see the off-roader within. Look at him using all the road and then some.
A change in 5th place, with Todd Borden 5th fastest on the stage. That was enough to move him up to 5th, ahead of Matt Summerfield. But disaster for Ari Pettigrew, as the car's computer malfunctioned and he was left to limp out of the stage, hoping to get through stage 4 to service. Stage 4, and while Patton and Stokes held station out front, Rana Horan and Ben Hunt were fighting hard for the podium. Hunt leading Horan going into the stage, the repeat run through Cricklewood. His time 25 seconds faster this time through, but Horan really pushed hard, 3rd fastest in the stage, and that's enough to take back 3rd place. And in the battle for 5th, Matt Summerfield reclaiming the position from Borden. Mike Young also putting in a good time on this second run. He was now 6th, just 4 seconds behind Borden.
And you can see Mike, another that's very smooth on the inputs. It's a really efficient way to drive. But also check out the use of modern technology in this car. All the gauges mounted on a tablet in the middle of the dashboard.
Grant Blackberry improving to 7th in the Evo 10. Kingsley Jones getting ahead of Matt Jensen. These two battling all morning for that 9th position. But Hayden McKenzie retiring on the stage, leaving Jack Hawkeswood in 11th, still with brake issues, so wisely pulling back and looking for a finish.
About a quarter of the way into the stage, we had a total brake failure. Like, we had no brakes at all. We had a little bit of rear brakes, but it wasn't really much help, so we kind of just cruised along, and we let Kingsley go past, and then we let Mike go past as well.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of ploughing to go through there. A bit of dampness, more so than what we had on Ricky, so that sort of helped us a little bit. But yeah, certainly was sapping a lot of speed from the car, but enjoyed it. You're sliding around, looking out the side window, so it's good fun.
Yeah, we've had a bit of an electrical problem in that one, and so 3 and 4, so we had to stop for about in both of those ones to try and reset the ECU in it. So yeah, we managed to get it going and limp through the end of the stages. So yeah, hopefully the boys can get it sorted now and we can have a clean run this afternoon.
Yeah, it hadn't been ideal for us. Right from the first stage this morning we had a bit of a misfire that's got worse and worse. The boys have done a whole lot of work on it now, and we've changed a whole lot of bits, and it's been for a test drive down the road now and it seems to be all good. So we'll go back out this afternoon, see what we can do in the power stage, try and get some points, but at least do a couple more stages of driving, and yeah, when everything's working well, we seem to be going all right. So fingers crossed for this afternoon, we'll have a bit of a push.
This was the power stage, and with 5 extra points on offer, this could be enough for a provisional championship win for Patton. His time of 11:28.3, smashing the existing stage record, so it's looking good for the Hyundai driver. Robbie Stokes has been the clear leader of the rest of the pack, and once again he was second fastest on the stage to Patton. Rana Horan holding 3rd and able to stretch that lead over Hunt to 15 seconds.
And after it was wet this morning and it's dried out, you can see a swept line emerging, which helps the drivers further back down the order get grip.
Hunt had used up his stock of new tyres, and that was making life hard for the Subaru driver, but his commitment was exceptional.
And this is just part of the world we live in these days with COVID and supply issues with things coming in from overseas. Unfortunately, there's not a lot that can be done about it.
The battle for 5th place also heating up, with Matt Summerfield holding on through this stage. But Mike Young really pushing here, taking the 5th fastest time and 1 point, and now closing to within seconds of Summerfield as he really gets to grip with the Subaru.
And for Mike, who's run with basically just one team in the Asia Pacific Championship over the years, it's a case of new car, new group of people that he's working with. It's certainly taken some adjustment, but he's getting on the right track.
6 right, opens 30. 5 left.
Todd Borden also right there, finishing the stage under a second behind, setting up a challenge for the final stage. Stage 6, Waipunga, features the spectacular climb up the Darkies Spur Road, a true test of bravery for the drivers. In Cat 1A, James Dunlop surviving a couple of mechanical mishaps to finish in second on his first NZRC rally. although a long way off the pace of class champion Todd Borden. Ari Pettigrew getting the car to service where the computer was reset, so at least he was able to finish the stage, although dropping to 13th.
And it's been a very mature drive from Ari. Really, for him, the key was miles, and he's achieved that without scratching the car.
Another finish for Duncan McCrosty in the Mazda AP4.
And he had 2 punctures early on, but that's about the biggest blemish that Duncan's had all season, and I'd say that that would make him the envy of the whole Cat 1 field.
Jack Hawke'S surviving the stage with brake issues, but a clean finish for the young Auckland driver and time to regroup before the final round.
And getting to the finish is not only great for the confidence of Jack and Sarah, it's great reward for all those guys that put all the effort in to get this car here.
Matt Jensen having a close battle with Kingsley Jones throughout the day, finishing 10th, just 30 seconds behind.
And for Matt, he's getting faster and faster every time out. This car is a quantum leap from the production car he was in.
A few engine issues had taken the sting out of Kingsley Jones's attack, but the team finished 9th and in a good mood.
And when things aren't going well in the car, it can be really frustrating, so it's great to see them retain a sense of humour like this.
You want to talk us through how you're doing?
That was pretty good. She did a great job.
I think you can see that with the times.
Yeah. She's been loving it. She's just been driving like an absolute ace. It's just like, man, I'm trying hard to keep up with the notes, but she's just so fast. It's a game changer.
Grant Blackberry with a strong finish in 8th on what is his home event. The battle for 5th place would go to the wire. Matt Summerfield was holding 5th at the start of the stage,
5 left 30.
but a super drive from Mike Young puts him 1.8 seconds in front.
And we talk about commitment in rally cars. Well, for these guys, that drop to the left is about 200 feet, and there's a lot of drivers that have trained themselves just not to look.
Right, 20. 6 left tightens, 5 minus onto narrow bridge.
However, Todd Borden would have the last say. His time of 13:46.1 would leapfrog him from 7th to 5th, although it seems the final corner might have been close to the end for this whole car.
And Todd's performance under pressure when it counted earned him the hella moment of the rally.
Todd, congratulations, mate. 1A championship, all yours.
Just about.
What did you do?
Oh, just went wide after the finish. Wide?
Wide?
It wasn't wide.
Hey, she's still straight?
Yeah.
You going to retire it now?
Yeah.
Hunt would have to settle for 4th.
And although it's not a podium, he can be satisfied in the fact that he's absolutely left nothing on the table and given it his all day.
Horan bringing the battered Skoda home in 3rd.
And it's only his 3rd year in the championship, but he's proving himself to be a podium contender wherever we go.
A fantastic day for Robbie Stokes in 2nd.
And this is what we've been hoping to see from Robbie all season. It's a fantastic feeling when everything comes right together, and it's a well-deserved Dunlop drive of the rally.
Robbie, congratulations, mate. It sort of feels like it's been a little while coming. You've finally managed to get to the end, and the luck's been there with you today. You've thoroughly deserved the 2nd place. Well done.
Yeah, it's just starting to set in now. It's, this is magic. This is just awesome. It's been a long time coming. Not a good start to the season, but I knew we had this in us. I knew we could show the pace that we have today, and it's just awesome. Amy did such a good job today on the notes, and the whole team just keeping the car running well. It's just, yeah, awesome. Yeah, it feels like a win. I know Hayden takes a bit of that away, but it's awesome.
Mate, this battle is fierce behind Hayden, and I think you've shown it at times through the year that your pace is probably second to him. Haven't quite been able to get that result to back it up. Today you get it to underline that, just how good your performance has been this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're aiming, and then once we solidify that, we'll start pushing on Hayden. But yeah, he's a world-class axe. Like, I don't know how he can go much faster than we were going, but he's very good.
Mate, Stokes Motorsport Fiesta, how's that been today?
Oh, it's just been magic. Awesome to drive. Best day of my life, just about.
Mate, congratulations. Well done, man. Awesome job. Well done, guys.
But a perfect finish for Hayden Padden. rally winner, and now confirmed as a 5 times NZRC champion.
And that brings him level with Richard Mason. The pair fought tooth and nail through the early part of Hayden's career, so to be extremely satisfied.
Obviously that was a target this weekend, was to try and wrap that up, and bit of a relief I guess, but huge credit for the whole team. You know, this is definitely a team effort, this one, and what goes in behind the scenes, and yeah, it's awesome for all the boys and everyone that's behind the scenes working so hard.
So it's Podium with another dominant win over Stokes. Horan just holding off that fantastic battle with Hunt for third, and Borden jumping to 5th at the final hurdle. So Paddon's unassailable lead is confirmed. Hunt in second, and he needs to finish at Coromandel to secure that. That's us for 4-wheel drive, but keep an eye on the NZRC Facebook page and nzrc.tv for 2-wheel drive and Rally Challenge highlights coming soon.